Hey guys, Account Second here, and these are the plans that I'm going to be doing for Thanksgiving weekend in terms of TA2 Racing. Um, as you probably don't know, Balto Racing, Gadge Fan 48, aka Jonathan Thoman, who actually won the Season 4 Pokemon Cup Championship. For the longtime fans, for those of you that don't know, every year usually runs a Thanksgiving 400, which is a fun race. He does with Sprint Cup drivers, truck drivers, and fictional Papyrus drivers, all in Boston National Speedway. He does it every year, and all those contests. You guys participate in the contest to see who would win, how many cautions there would be, who would win the truck race, etc. And yeah, they do it every year, and the winner would get prizes and stuff. So, well, I just heard that Balto Racing is not doing one this year, but I want the tradition to continue on for this year, so I'm going to be doing it on my own version of the Thanksgiving 400, and it's at the same track, Boston International Speedway. So I'm going to be doing it, and it's not. It doesn't have any involvement from GadgeFan 48. I'm not going to run the contest he does previously. I'm not going to do that portion because I just don't have anything to give away as prizes, basically. So I can't come up with any good prizes, and also it'd be too hard. It would be too much for me to count every statistic, every result stuff for points and all that, and I just couldn't do it. So there is not going to be a contest form for this year. Just to let you know, so don't enter your submissions here. There is no contest this year. We're just going to do the races for the weekend, and that's it. Just races, just for you guys to enjoy. Just a fun thing we like to do for Thanksgiving weekend. Hoping to help Balto Racing out, continue the Thanksgiving 400 legacy, and we have one this year at Boston. So anyway, he's not going to remove it anyway. He's just taking a break from it this year. So I decided I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do my own version of Thanksgiving 400. Probably not going to have the involvement of Balto Racing unless if he comes and talks to me about it, but we'll see. Anyway, but it's likely I'm not going to have involvement with him unless I have another update saying otherwise. So hopefully, we'll see. But anyway, again, this is going to be held in Boston International Speedway. And here's something a little bit different. Usually they have the Papyrus fictional drivers, the Truck Series drivers, and the Sprint Cup drivers. But for this week, we're adding the Xfinity drivers. We're going to add an Xfinity race to the Boston's weekend because why not? Because it's different. So I figured why not. Anyway, let's go through the drivers that are going to compete in the Thanksgiving 400. This is all going to be with the Sprint Cup mod 2015 from SBR. Team SBR mod with a couple differences to make things more realistic as possible. So I'm going to make the Sprint Cup race realistic. I'm going to keep these ratings. Everyone has different ratings, as you could see. Everybody has different ratings, so we're going to keep it that way and make this a realistic kind of race. So anyway, Jamie McMurray is there. You see Jamie is competing. So is Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, and others. Those names. Alex Bowman will be in the 7. More notables, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in the 17. Kyle Busch is in the 18. They put David Reagan's name on there because the car set was released when Kyle and Kurt were out of action, and so I had to update that a little bit. Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, the rest. Ryan Blaney's in this race for Wood Brothers. J.J. Ely and Jeb Burton are in. Jeff Gordon, Chase Elliott will be in. You'll see them. And for those of you wondering, here's Jeff Gordon's ratings. Everyone's ratings is a bit different, as you could see. So it's going to be realistic. It's going to be as real as possible. The other 3 races are going to have the same ratings. Everyone's going to have 190 ratings, and we're going to make it a little challenging for them. Everyone's going to be on the same playing field. It's just that we're going to have, everyone's going to be at 90, where Pokemon Cup drivers are at 100 everywhere, so that everyone has a chance to win. And, yeah, we're going to do that. And here's the rest of the field. As for those of you who know, Josh Wise in the 32. Mike Bliss was in the ride before, but now he's He's not going to be in the race. Wise is in the 32. Brett Moffitt is in the 34. They had Joe Nemechek put on the 34 when the mod came out, when the car set came out, but now Brett Moffitt's in the ride. Cole Witt, David Gilliland, Landon Castle, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson. There's Kurt. They had Regan Smith in the 41 briefly when the car set came out. Excuse me for my slurring the words. Sir, excuse me. So I apologize. Yeah. Excuse me for mixing up the words. David Reagan in the 55. They had Brett Moffitt in the 55 in the car set, but I put David Reagan on there. And yeah, the reason I had another car set is because some other paint schemes from the 2015 mod are being used by Pokemon Cup drivers, so I didn't want to go through the hassle of having to switch names with each driver and switch paint schemes, and they already had that set, so I had to get another car set with all Sprint Cup drivers and all realistic ratings in order to make this event possible. So anyway, we are going to have a Pokemon exhibition race. There will be an exhibition race for the Pokemon Cup drivers in Season 19, only in Boston. We'll have more on that later. Here's the Xfinity drivers that are competing. You know the names. There are no bushwhackers, by the way, in either the truck race or the Xfinity race. Well, not counting Chase Elliott and maybe Ty Dillon, but they're part-timers in the Sprint Cup series, so that is I'm making an exception to that. Yeah, I even have Ross Kenseth in the ride. Ryan Blaney's in the 22. You know, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano share that ride often. But it's going to be Ryan Blaney that's going to be driving there. There's Kyle Larson's number 42. That's going to be Brendan Poole's ride, by the way, for the race. And, you know, Kyle Busch is in the 54, but Eric Jones is going to be in the 54 instead. And, you know, Kevin Harvick and Matt Kenseth often share the 20. That's Ross Kenseth that's going to be in the 20 in the race. And let's just look at the other bushwhackers. Jeffrey Earnhardt's in this race. Brendan Gaughan's in this race. And the 88, usually by Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., they share this ride, but Ben Rhodes is going to be riding in the 88. And the rest of the field. That's 40 drivers. I'm going to keep it at 40 because that's where the Xfinity Series has the maximum of drivers in a race. And again, I want to make it almost true to the game, except everyone's ratings are going to be set to 90 for the trucks and the Xfinity race because I want to make it fun and interesting. And the Sprint Cup is going to have realistic ratings because why not? And the Papyrus race is going to have the same ratings as well. Everyone's going to be capped at. Everyone's going to have ratings at 90 everywhere. Everyone's going to have rating. Let me recap. Everyone's going to have 90s ratings. Everyone's going to have their ratings capped at 90. For the trucks, Xfinity, and Papyrus race. The Pokemon Cup exhibition race will have everyone's ratings capped at 100 like in the series, like the series intended. And the Sprint Cup race is going to have realistic ratings, different ratings every driver depending on the car set. On the car set you saw what ratings they give it. So we're going to make it realistic. And hopefully we'll try it out. This is the first time I'm doing a realistic type of race, and it's a Sprint Cup, so it's going to be interesting to see what I could do. And here's the truck drivers that are going to be in the series, in the race in Boston. 32 drivers. It's because that's how many the trucks could handle. That's how much the trucks are capped at in current races. 32 drivers again. I want to add realistic, but at the same time make it fun and competitive. So anyway, everyone's again capped ratings at 90 and no bushwhackers in the trucks. So Travis Kvapil is in the 1. There's Eric Jones in the 4. And John Hunter Nemechek. Joe Nemechek usually shares the 8, but John Hunter Nemechek is going to compete. Cole Custer is in as well. Cole Custer is a part-timer, but he'll be in this race because I know some of you guys are fans of him. Are becoming fans of Cole Custer, so I thought I'd add him to make you guys happy. There's Timothy Peters, the 19. Tyler Reddick's gonna race in it. Spencer Gallagher, Ryan Ellis. There's Austin Thorold in the 29. even though he had injuries in Vegas and he's not in the trucks anymore, but Thorold is going to be in our Boston race. Rico Abreu, he made his debut in Phoenix, but, well, he's going to, or Texas, it might have been Texas or Phoenix, I don't know, but he's going to be in this race. Brandon Jones is in this race, Daniel Suarez, he's going to be both in the trucks and Xfinity race. So, there's Matt Tiffett, you know him. Kyle Busch is probably the biggest one in the 51 or 54, but he's not going to be in this race, in the truck race. He's only going to compete in this Sprint Cup race because, you guys don't like. I know I don't like bushwhackers in the series, but me neither. So I don't want him in the edition. So anyway, one more thing before we go. Let's show you the fictional drivers we're using for the race. There you see the fictional Papyrus cars we'll be using for our annual race in Papyrus. We used this mod before with the MLP Cup series, by the way, and maybe sometime in the Pole Mod Cup early in the season, in the early seasons. But we're going to be returning to this mod for the race of the Thanksgiving weekend. And finally, let's show you the Pole Mod Cup drivers. You know who's in the Pole Mod Cup series, but let's just show you the list again, just in case for those of you that want to know who is competing in the exhibition race in Boston. There you see every driver with their paint schemes they'll be using, by the way, for the entire season, which is going to be coming up soon. I'm hoping to get some races out this weekend, by the way. So maybe this Saturday. Today should be Monday when this video is up. So it's going to be this Saturday. And that's all the drivers that are going to be in. So anyway, for those of you wondering how many laps there will be, the Pole Mod Cup exhibition is going to be 50 laps. The Papyrus race is going to be 100 laps. The truck race is 200 laps. And the Xfinity race is 300. And finally, the big Sprint Cup race is 400 laps. Because Thanksgiving 400. And it's all 1 mile tracks, so why not? The max is 500, but I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go 500 far, and it's just not fun. And qualifying is just going to be set up. It's going to be random qualifying. Just go into the race, just random qualifying. There's not going to be like practice. There's not going to be qualifying speeds, all that stuff. We're just going to go right to qualifying, right to the race each time. So anyway, Thanksgiving weekend, don't miss it. We are going to have exhibition for the Pole Mod. We're going to start with the exhibition of the Pole Mod Cup Series, season 19 at Boston, to start off the week, I should say. Then the 100 lap Papyrus race, Papyrus drivers race. Then the 200 lap truck race, the 300 lap Xfinity race, and the 400 lap Sprint Cup race. So that's all going to be happening next week during the Thanksgiving 400 week. So anyway, hope you guys will stick around. Pole Mod Cup is going to be starting up this weekend for season 19. This is the account second here, and I'll see you guys later.